Hello everyone. A little while back, I heard someone say in a YouTube video that a coil-split humbucker will never sound like a real single coil. I had asked them if they have any evidence to support this, specifically a test where as many variables as possible were eliminated. They did not, so I thought, I have some guitars I can compare. Why don't I do the test myself? So I did. Here are some clips of 3 different guitars played through the bridge pickup. Same riff, same signal chain, the only difference is the guitar. Which of these sounds like a single coil to you? Without knowing what the guitars even are, or what pickups are in them, could you tell which ones were single coils? If you guessed none of them, you'd be correct. All 3 of the clips were played through split humbuckers. I never said one of them had a single coil in the bridge. I asked which examples sound like a single coil. This doesn't conclude my test though. What do split humbuckers actually sound like compared to real single coils? For this test, I will be comparing pickups in the neck position. I will give more information on the guitars themselves later. This is another blind test, but with more examples from clean tones to distorted tones. I think it's more fun not to tell you what the guitars are, so you can form your own opinions before the reveal. Here's what I can tell you though. One of the guitars has a single coil pickup, and one of them has a split humbucker. These guitars both have a 25.5-inch scale length, and the pole pieces of the pickups are roughly, if not the same distance from the bridge, so this is a very fair comparison. The third guitar, however, is a mystery. We'll see if anyone can pick out whether it's guitar A, B, or C, and what the guitar could possibly be. This is why you are so important to this test. It is up to you to use your ears to decipher which guitar is which, based on the information that I've provided. To further eliminate variables, all 3 guitars are using the same D'Addario EXL 120 9-42 gauge strings, and they will be going through the exact same signal chain. A Radial Pro 48 active direct box, into a PreSonus Studio 24C interface, into PreSonus Studio 1.4, and into the Ampire Guitar Amp plugin. I chose to use an amp sim instead of a real amp, as there is room for error in a live rig. Using an amp sim keeps all of that under control. I will be using the MCM 800 amplifier model, with all of the EQ set to 12 o'clock. This is a test, not a guitar tone showcase. The settings are neutral so that the amp wasn't set to favor a specific guitar. The low channel will be used for cleans and the high channel for distortion. For the speakers, I will be using the Spectre Digital Celestion Vintage 30 impulse responses. I will be using both the 440 Pure and SM57 microphone variants with a 50-50 split, so both IRs are at equal level. With all of that out of the way, here's the blind test. Feel free to comment below with your predictions before the reveal, and be honest. Which guitar do you think is which? So, what do you think? Were you able to differentiate the pickup types just by using your ears? Without even seeing the guitars, do you have any ideas on what body style the guitars are? What brand the pickups are? The type of bridge? Or the type of woods used? I'll give you a few seconds if you'd like to pause the video and guess. Alright, on to the reveal. Guitar A is a Schecter Omen 6 with an iron gear rolling mill humbucker in the neck. I bought this guitar new in 2010, and I believe the serial number dates its creation to late 2009. As you can probably tell, this guitar has been heavily modified over the years and was my main guitar in band settings and recordings for a number of years. If you'd like to pause to read all of the specs for any of the guitars, feel free to do so. Guitar B is a custom Warmoth guitar that I put together during the pandemic. This guitar has an iron gear Texas Loco single coil in the neck. This guitar is also very lightweight. It can feel like a toy if I pick it up after my other guitars. And for Guitar C, I wonder who would have predicted this, but it's a Schecter C8 Deluxe 8-string guitar with the Tosin Abasi signature DiMarzio ionizer pickup set. I purchased this one in 2018, and it has also seen some upgrades similar to the others. I muted the two lowest strings with a piece of foam to effectively make it a baritone scale 6-string in standard E tuning. This one was a little harder to track than the other two guitars. Firstly, there's more tension on the strings, but also, the output of the split coil is quite low. In fact, both of the split humbuckers were noticeably lower output than the single coil. So I rubbed my two brain cells together and I looked at the DC resistance of each pickup. Both humbuckers sit around 8.5k ohms, while the single coil has a resistance of 6.5k ohms. Now, if my logic is correct, splitting a humbucker would basically cut the output of the pickup in half, which means an 8.5k output becomes a 4.25k output, hypothetically. This is fairly low from what I've seen when looking at other neck single coils. So then I thought, what difference would a higher output humbucker make? So I did that. I went to the Iron Gear website and bought a hot Slag neck humbucker, which matches the bridge humbucker in my Schecter Omen 6, and that comes in at a whopping 15.3k ohms, almost doubling the output of the rolling mill. I had that installed and tested it against the Texas Loco again. This time, I'll be playing different pieces of music and I'll be running the guitars through a different amp and speaker combo to prevent any familiarity from the previous test. I will be using the Audio Assault Sigma EX amp sim with one of the stock 3D cabinets. All of the amp settings are neutral, just like the previous test. So let's get into it, shall we? Round 2. Can you tell the difference? Well then, that test does seem closer than the previous one. And here's the reveal. Guitar A is once again the split humbucker, and Guitar B is the single coil. So after all of this, what did I learn? Well, I learned that higher output pickups are probably a better choice for coil splitting, at least when it comes to neck pickups, since bridge pickups are usually hotter anyways. It also occurred to me that there are other options to consider as well, like unbalanced humbuckers and adjusting the height of a humbucker and the pole pieces to lessen the drop in output when splitting coils. At the end of the day, do split humbuckers sound like single coils? Yes. I find that the humbucker in the Schecter Omen 6 is missing some of the treble compared to the single coil in the Warmoth and the DiMarzio in the 8-string. This could just be the way the pickups sound, or maybe the chrome covers on the hot slag and rolling mill are causing the high-end roll-off, I don't know. I like the look of covered pickups, and it's not a drastic shift in tone if that is the case. Nothing that probably couldn't be remedied with some EQ. Iron Gear do offer these pickups in uncovered variants as well, but maybe that's a comparison for someone else to perform. To me, they sound similar enough that I don't see any problem with using coil-split humbuckers in place of actual single coils. Going back to the inspiration for this video, for someone to claim that a split humbucker doesn't sound like a single coil, I find that to be untrue. Even in completely different guitars, a split humbucker in the same position as a single coil sound very similar. And this isn't a controlled test. Put it in a recording or a live setting with other instruments and I doubt anyone could tell the difference. In fact, here's a clip from a demo I have. Headphones or good speakers are necessary for this one since guitars are panned hard left and right.
Assume you never heard it. The realization that you're incomplete. Can't get what you need, but you still try to demystify. But it's not what you want. You pray for the lie.
Which guitar is on the left and which guitar is on the right? Is it possible that they're the same and I'm trying to trick you? Does it even matter? That's up to you. To close out the video, here are back-to-back comparisons of the rolling mill pickup I had in the Schecter Omen 6 and the hot slag that I replaced it with. Thank you for watching and I look forward to reading your comments. This video was not made to attack anyone, it was made purely for research purposes.